Hello there, welcome back to the Directorate of Bax Prime. Last time we went full murder and actually exterminated an entire race. We're good at that. And what we're going to do this time is basically the same thing, just a continued way of it. And sadly, because I pressed the wrong button, I did not get to see what that event did. Which is kind of sad, because I believe Swirling Shadows is one of the most interesting ones that generate a shit ton of science. Where are my science ships? Not there. Not there, clearly. Nope, it was actually here. Which means that I should actually build a another frontier outpost right there. And we'll use our fleet, once it's done, to start removing some of these amoebas. And I'll also send alien writing! Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Arnie 2A. Master Script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. I was expecting dicks, I'll be honest. So yeah, as you can see here, we have places where we don't have people working, which is not surprising. Let's just move you there, actually. And we need to remove some of these tile blockers, but we don't really... Well, we're actually working on it already, so no problems there. Yeah, I have a lot of things to do here. I need to most likely set up a colony in Subra, I think. It's tempting to set one up here, but the influence won't reach as far as I want it to.
System survey.
Actually, setting up one in Rookband would probably be the best. So we'll survey all of these systems. We don't really have to hurry. It would be nice to hurry in terms of the science, but it's not really something we really need to do. So we can just take it slow and easy. We actually have this within our... No, I thought it was within our borders, but sadly not. So we have a construction ship here. We can actually build research stations right away. Science ship the Jaeger. Considering that we are actually expanding into this area, just researching it should be nice, but as you can see, we actually researched all we can right now. So with that said, we're going to send the Jaeger to survey the systems that we require to survey. That's a little bit better for us, if you will. I've actually already set someone up for that. Science ship. Survey that. Survey that from the get-go. Then that, then that, then that. And that should do the trick. So basically right now I'm just looking for places to set up a colony. And hopefully by building the frontier outpost here, it should reach Amgathora. I should actually just build in Amgathora to be sure. Yeah, it should actually give me exactly what I needed if I built it there, so that's a little bit disappointing. Do we want to upgrade our fleet even more? Or do we want to start making robots? We don't really need robots, so we're going to upgrade our fleets even more. Which is pretty good. Glancing hit. So we got hit by more rounds from a neighboring galaxy. Funny how that happens. What I completely forget about is the fact that I should probably have the possibility here of upgrading my planetary capital. And also, if I remember correctly, not upgrade the mining work, replace it with something that is better. Atmospheric manipulator. I want that. I want that now. But first we'll build the Betharian power plant. And I will not upgrade that into an engineering facility. Nope. I'll not upgrade any of those into an engineering facility. What I will do, however, is probably... I will not sacrifice the science. I will not sacrifice it. No matter how tempted I get, I will not sacrifice the science. How are we doing for food here? +4. We're going to need another food source, which is that. I am tempted to go ahead and build the atmospheric manipulator here. I think we're going to do that because the ethics divergence is basically how likely your people are to change their, for lack of a better word, beliefs. We suppress one coin, but I can live with that. I can live with the suppression of 1 coin. I think. At least for the time being I can. These guys have been upgraded, so we're going to send you guys to Max Prime. Can I upgrade the starport in the area? Nope. Do we have anything interesting here? not really. Shield hit points could be nice to have in the future, but not right now. So for the time being, there's not really anything happening. I'm just going to keep on researching and building, and we'll see how things turn out. I'll be back shortly. There we go, with the upgrade, if you will, to the Frontier Station, building it here. We keep on finding good things. But to building it here, it actually reached more than longer than Amigatora, and actually sent me a little bit forwards also some other places. So it's a decent place to build it, actually. I'm just going to keep it down for the time being. It seems like the Frontier Stations are better when it comes to taking control of things than actual colonies. So I'll be focusing on anything that gives me influence to keep that going for a long time. Now, these guys have actually set up a secondary colony, but we're growing in terms of our output here. And actually, building the station here actually encroached a little bit on their borders. So I think if I destroy them, the borders will actually join in perfectly, which is good. So this construction ship is currently done with its duties. We'll send it to build a wormhole station so it can explore a little bit better. And then I'll just set it to basically build in the area. But yeah, my fleet, I'm going to need it to just get rid of all of these things too, though. So we have a lot of things to do. The debris in Urgatal, or Urgalal, is probably something I don't need to explore. Why are you red? I think that was just a visual glitch. Either that or someone kidnapped my station. I don't know which one, sadly. So we'll have to deal with that later. But as you can see, for now, we're currently just exploring the area that ended up under my control after the short war. We have 3 more ships that we're building, corvette, and I should actually have more room for 1 more corvette then. Found another Tau or Toad asteroid, which is decent for tech purposes. I'm basically not getting any or a lot of pops here, but I'm getting a decent amount of tech. So in terms of that, we're doing well. Research has been completed, another point of monthly influence, which is good, and some new buildings. Now, out of these, there's not really anything that I really want, so we're going to do this one, just to pass time and get new options, really. We found another Betharian stone, so we definitely want that. It's a very nice upgrade, as I've said, because it gives you access to some pretty sweet things. Now, let's see, we have 2 primitive civilizations that we can watch. And this one is currently pacifist and individualist. Damn. It's fanatically individualist. So that's interesting. But for now, I think we are more or less ready to challenge these guys. Penko, they don't have any allies. They're inferior. And they're openly hostile. Both flawed and primitive. The backs, it pains me with it such efficiency. Well, you guys are materialist and xenophile. And yet you don't love me. Okay, that's interesting. They're xenophiles, but apparently I'm not nice enough, which is not surprising. But I'm just going to keep on upgrading my general area. Once the fleet is done, I'm going to clear out some of the enemies here. But until then, I'm just going to sit back and wait. So I'll be back in a tiny bit. So a little bit of things happened before, well, you guys have been done. I've been getting some rudimentary science done for society. It's basically just time blockers, so it's nothing of too much importance. But we've gotten things done here. And I'm not really sure what to pick next, to be honest. I could go with a controlled colony ships to increase the colony speed, but I don't really think that's necessary, unless we get some better techs later. Shield hit points sounds much more nice to have, or even wormholes. But I think we're going to go with lasers. No, let's just go with wormholes. It'll allow me to jump everywhere with no problems at all. And I'm going to take the science ship here. We're going to have 2 on the eastern front, and we're going to have 1 on the western front. Because I've started to clear out the systems that had enemies in them. And with the new setup here, we have more things that we can actually explore and build in. So all in all, it's an upgrade. I'm currently using my fleet here to deal with some space amoebas and most of the annoying things that were here. So in terms of that, we should be fine. Space amoebas are not a threat. We took a tiny bit of damage though. So I'm going to deal with the second space amoeba here too. Just get him out of the way. And I need to figure out which science ship I actually sent over here, because I'm going to use that science ship to actually check the debris first and foremost. And once we're done with that, we can focus on other things. So again, I'm just going to keep on building up the little area that we've made for ourselves here. And it should all work out to our advantage in the end. So with that said, I'm going to just keep on removing the space amoeba and the crystalline entities here. Now the crystalline entities is kind of weird because there should be 4 stacks of 200, but it should be something that we can deal with. And we got our next level of a space station, so that's good. We can get an impulse thruster, which would be a thruster upgrade. We can get some better armor, or we can build a defense platform. Now out of these, I'm just going to get the defense platform to see if I can get some better choices. 6 months remaining. But what I completely forgot about is that we actually got an upgrade to our thing here. As you can see, we can mega corporation. We got a second tier, despotic empire or star empire, for instance, a mega corporation and a plutocratic oligarchy, neural network, or despotic hegemony. So we're going to go for an illuminated technocracy, which will give us 2 more alternatives and 2 more leaders. Now the upgrade will cost us some influence, but that's fine. We're still getting a decent amount of it. But I need to find some rivals that are close by, and right now this seems weird because my I forgot to mention this, but I have no idea if it glitched during creation or something, but there should be 30 empires running about. So it's weird that I've only found 5 of them. So yeah, seems weird, man. Are you not doing anything? No, you're not. So we'll deal with that as time passes by, but for now I'll just keep on dealing with the enemies that are currently in my garden, and then we'll probably declare war on the confederated planets. So I'll be right back. I chose another rudimentary research, and as you can see we have another one completing in 2 months. It's basically the defense platform that I got done for engineering, and with that we got Crusader, which is basically an upgrade to my ships. I can now build a 3-piece ship once that's done. But it requires a spaceport of level 5, so we're going to have to upgrade that once more, which is kind of expensive. Now, on the eastern frontier, we have most things researched, but I'm going to build a warp base most likely in Ernest and in Chatlib. And we're going to just survey all of these planets and see if we find something that is a little bit better than or a little bit further out than one in Satellite. If not, Satellite will become a thing for us. Now, we're currently finding the crystal entities. I was wrong, by the way. There's just 4 stacks of 72, which is easy to deal with to some degree. Surprisingly easy to deal with, I should say. So we didn't really have any problems here. And as you can see, we're having a lot of work done. Now, I took a science ship. Yeah, the science ship. And I'm going to use it to actually research these things, because space amoebas and crystalline entities have some interesting techs that they can carry with them, or that they are a part of, I should say. So they do work in interesting ways, and we're just going to keep on surveying the land here as it was. And we found another ancient life pod. There's been a couple of anomalies while I was paused, but none of them have actually been interesting. It's just been the same old, same old. They get a little bit repetitive after a while. Habitation, tile blocker, or do we want naval capacity? We do want naval capacity. The bigger the fleet, the better. So we're going to go for that. But as you can see here, I only have 2 planets, but I do still own a very huge amount of, well, if you think of it in galaxy terms, it's not a very huge amount. But I think that either everyone spawned into a single system and killed each other, or basically something is wrong with my game, because there should be far more things here. So I'm a little bit concerned, especially considering that I did end up murdering things so well. I might just have been a little bit too good at the murdering part. But we'll see, we'll figure it out. I should be able to make something out of this. So I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do with this ship. If I want to send it to work on things, or if I just want to keep it here as for when we actually set up the colony. But seeing how things are, I guess sending it to... Yeah, I can just keep it there, because right now I don't need to build anything, not even mineral-wise. I know that I do have a huge enemy surplus, but once we start building fleets in the tens of thousands, that's not going to be a surplus anymore. It's going to be very much a deficit. So let's just think of that as a second and calm down in the wild building schemes. I am going to destroy these guys though. And that is going to give me an insane amount of stuff to survey, which means that I should, in theory, just focus on getting another science ship, which I'm very tempted to do right now. Survey that system because it's very close. Yeah, there's a lot of weird surveying patterns that I've set up here, so we'll have to see. Let's just do that. Let's just get another science ship. That way I can have 2 on the western side and 2 on the eastern side that will work in tandem with each other. And then I can just build warp stations whenever I need to extend my reach, as it were. But we are ready for another genocide. Not a genocide, a genocide. I said wrong last time. And we will confirm. And we will go straight for the capital. I have no idea how strong the ships are, but it shouldn't be that strong. I haven't actually upgraded my ships in a while though, so we might have to do that after this war. But I don't think I'll actually bother upgrading them until I find anything of interest. Is that actually a transport? Yeah, I think that was a transport. Let's just destroy their starbase and then we'll go for the other thing. Were they actually in my... Were they actually messing around in my part of the world? Or my part of space? I think they were. Wow. I didn't expect that. So let's just get the siege of the main planet done. And that should actually be enough to force them into a peaceful coexistence. Kind of. Found an amoeba in Karanis. We found an amoeba in Stellaris. So I need to deal with those. Let's just be honest. I found another science ship. The Marco Polo. What? How fitting. I am not getting the scientists that I need. I need a bigger leader pool. Let's just be honest about that. And you can start surveying the systems that are on the border of the previous systems. And most of these guys are actually the second murder. So they have 2 fleets at the very least. Are they preparing to warp? Entering orbit of Pentul. Isn't that what I'm sieging? Yeah, that's what I'm sieging. So they are going back home. They are using regular warp engines. They're not using the windows that I am. That might make sense though, because if I have actually entered aerostat colonies, a real network of aerostat colonies dating back at least 3 millennia can be found in the low orbit of this gas giant. Their original function appears to have been gas mining, but they have since been abandoned and reoccupied by many different races and pirate groups. I remember this one. We actually found the same event in our home system, which was glorious. Science ships that don't do anything. No. That is not acceptable. Did they scare you away? Did you not finish your job? They scared you away. What bastards? You didn't even finish researching the debris. Come on, I need to just learn to not hold shift whenever I'm doing something. Because we need to just research that. You know what, I'm just going to have them serve a one-on-one system. It's just easy that way. Have 1 or 2 systems and then I can put them onto something else. But yeah, they're attacking us. My 28 strong fleet is facing them. They actually have 1 destroyer. That's cute. I lost 1 corvette so far. And that should be all I lost. Yeah, I just lost 1 corvette. That's decent. Wormhole generation matrix is done, which is good. 0-point reactor. I'm tempted to get that done, I'll be honest. But it's a very high-end tech. It's going to take me almost 10 years. So, yeah, I should probably focus on other things. I'm going to have to focus on other things for weapons now. That's the end result here. So, power is full. That's good. Construction ships are all lacing about, which is not good. I guess it's because I told them to run away, which I guess is the correct move. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit annoying still.
Research complete.
So I'm going to leave the construction ships idle for now, because I think they have all done their job. I just need to get the colonies set up, and then we can worry more about what I'm supposed to do with them. Naval capacity plus 10%. Ministry of Benevolence. Okay, Empire Unique and Empire Modify. Ethnic Divergence minus 15. That's actually a good one, because again, if I can just keep my ethics as they are, we should be fine. And it's not really that expensive, it'll take me 2 years, so let's just do that one. Empire of Benevolence. I love their naming sense. Planet summary. That's Etheric atmospheric manipulator. Ethics divergence minus 10%. So, if I get another 15% on top of that, most people won't actually care, even if they're on the side of the galaxy. Well, they'll care a little bit, but not a lot, which is the way I like it. So, let's just slap down a frontier clinic there for habitability, and let's just slap down a power plant. And we have enough money and minerals to just clear the entire thing now, which is good. And for the future, we're just going to build basic science labs. We don't need just power hubs. Other things are also nice to have, like science.
Complete.
So that works out just fine. Coffee system has been found and researched. Science ship not doing anything. I wish I could just press a button and they would automatically survey everything they could survey nearby. That would be... Okay, so nothing in that system. That's interesting. Survey that, and survey that. I'm just going to take 3 systems at a time, because odds are they're going to run into an enemy. We found a special project. Ah, it's these things. I can do 2 of them, apparently. We don't have borders access to the others, so if I want to find empires, I could just actually press those and find empires that way. Now, I completely forgot about these guys. How are we doing? Almost done. Let's just land the... Oh, do they have a lot of defenses? They do have a lot of defenses. I need to recruit. Let's just go with an even 15, I guess. Yeah. I need one more though. And it's going to take a time to assemble them, but it should be fine. I don't think they actually have a star base here.
System survey complete.
According to this, they don't. So that's fine. We should be fine then. I'll allow time to pass again, and we'll see what comes out of this.
Survey complete.
Well, this is funny. They actually had a star base on the other planet, and they kept on sending 1 pieces against me until they actually surrendered. So, awkward scenario to tell the least. I didn't really need to do anything, which is always fun, always nice. But yeah, as you can see, starbase. But we're going to do the good old tropical worlds, these guys, and you are about to be completely and utterly purged. And the same goes for all of you. They were desert nomads and settled on a tropical world. Insane bastards. But yeah, we're not going to build anything until we actually get the purge through, which should be interestingly enough to watch. But yeah, as I said, wait until the purge is done, then figure it out. I wish I could actually decide when the order these ships were supposed to be. Potentially I could just destroy all my... Failure! Oh, they couldn't find the reflecting object. Maybe it was just a sensor glitch. That's fine. There's worse failures than that. I've had ships explode. Extreme storms, +3 physics.
Anomaly found.
Can only be described by the science team as mystical. Okay. Let's see. My fleet here will get fixed, and then we will clear out a bunch of enemies that are actually in this area. So, that's fine. Let's see here. Inactive buildings. That's perfectly fine. Clear that power plant.
Anomaly found.
Okay, leave B for now. You're not skilled enough to actually deal with that. We actually found a continental world down here, but it's 70%, which hints at it's a bad world. High gravity. And unstable tectonics. It could become a very nice engineering world. It even has a 4. But I guess we can just use that or take that from orbit, so it's not a big deal. But I need to wait. I need to wait and just figure out how much is actually taken once these guys collapse. Among the asteroids around blank, a tree is drifting through the emptiness of space. An unprecedented and highly unlikely event. The tree surrounded in a protective bubble, reminiscent of an energy shield. Suddenly detected some hostile space dweller on approach. This consisted with some sap leaking through the tree's shield while we collected samples. Could it have agitated the creatures? Have I just declared war on something without knowing it? Omicron vessels. You're on passive. I need you to be on evasive. Okay, jump into the system. I need to clear out all of these enemies, including the ones in Gaping Maw. We're actually building a little bit more fleet to deal with one in Gaping Maw. So, yeah, that's good. I'm not going to deal with the debris from the planet. Don't really need to, so don't want to. We still have some etheric gas to go on, which is good, because that means we can boost our shields. Ministry of Benevolence is done. Slaves, biolabs, or... let's do a cheap one. We'll find the pets. Build zoos. But yeah, construction ships are all on pause, and they should be.
Construction complete.
Okay, so apparently cutting the border didn't actually give me enough to connect, which is a problem. We found a Gaia world. Is it a big Gaia world? It's a huge Gaia world. Now, Gaia worlds are perfect worlds, as you might see. And tempting worlds, as you might also guess. But again, why do I find that on the fringe? Why don't I find that in the middle? Anyways, doesn't really matter. We are going to keep on just surveying the entire area, and then we'll find worlds to settle on. The only real negative about that is that it takes time. So in the meantime, we might actually set up frontier outposts in areas that we found interesting to deal with that. So we're going to actually attack the Omicron aliens here before we figure out what this actually is.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
Good. Clusterman. I need you to research that. Research that. Survey the system. And in the meantime, we're going to use this fleet to just, again, destroy all enemies in the area. And we're probably going to use the clusterman to actually research the remains too, because a lot of them will actually be useful. Anomaly. Mid-sized vessel that was previously detected inside the upper atmosphere of a gas giant. Let's research that. It's interesting enough. So it's some crystalline entities. Tundra world.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
Molten world. And a barren world. Interesting. Wow. You gotta be shitting me. A comet sighted is a common event in Year 4 if you haven't played it. It usually lowers your stability. And happily here, it's just acknowledged. We acknowledged that there was something. So we found a ship deep inside the gas giant. We'll bring it up, whatever it is. It's an interesting thing to do. And I'm going to use the clusterman, as said, to research the debris that we find here, because crystalline entities, as I said, do have some interesting stuff to them. And then we're going to survey the systems that we haven't surveyed yet because of the fleets that we've found here. But yeah, this is interesting. We can do the tree, we can do the gas giant. It seems to attract monstrous beings, okay. But we have already sent someone to investigate that, haven't we? We found a civilization which we can place a observation post on. All the way down here, of course. Of course! Let's just get the gas giant thing out of the way. Do you know what? I need to learn to not hold shift again. Let's get the gas giant out of the way. In the meantime, I will keep on surveying things and we'll see how things turn out. So, our special project has been completed. After rigorous research, we now understand why the tree sap summoned those creatures. The tree is able to produce a highly nutritious substance which has machine-like abilities to repair organic tissue. The tree is a tree of life. If we harvest it, we could use it to expand the lifespan of our people. But there's one problem. The tree's healing power is limited in amount. We could only use it to improve a small group of people's lives substantially, or increase everyone's situation by a small amount. We could give it to our leaders, a leader lifespan plus 50 years. It would be a lot of fun. But happiness plus 15 for everyone. That could actually be quite decent. Now, the happiness modifier has something to do with how much the guys actually produce, in theory. But I don't know if we actually need it. it could be nice to keep the people that end up being far away from the capital happy. 50 years is a lot though, but I think we'll give it to our people. It's a fair thing to do, and in theory it should help me quite a bit. Yeah, it also increases output, as you can see, so that's good. Empire Capital Complex, we're building that. We're also upgrading the power plants. We don't need engineering, we need physics, so we'll upgrade to physics once we get that. But currently there's not really much going on. I'll keep on the serving for a little bit longer, and then I'll call it quits for today. There we go, we now have the capability of building cruisers. But the next thing is a little bit, well, I'm not sure what to do next. We could go armor, just upgrade our armor some more. We could get the cruise assembly yards. It will make basically building cruisers go quicker, but I don't think we need that. Instead, I'm tempted to just go with impulse thruster. Just get even better thrusters, better chance to avoid, and just build on that. But I didn't really get much done. Meanwhile, we have at least eradicated all threats, except for the guys in the Gaping Maw. We're going to do that next time. We have not actually found a proper planet to settle in the area. There's a tomb world here, there's a tundra world here, but basically again nothing of real interest. So we might end up just building a outpost, most likely either here or here, and another one probably in Haneri or Kelsim even, just for as a temporary measure to keep on expanding. And we'll probably build another outpost in Fadima once we have it surveyed. And the reason for that is very simple. It will probably give us control over the entire area here, and that should give us a decent amount of science too with it. Now, I'm very tempted to, as I said, get the Gaia world colonized, but we'll have to see. And the Subra is also very tempting. But again, we have things in the area. There's no need to actually go that step. Now, by building 2 frontier outposts, it's going to cost me a tiny, or even 3, it's going to cost me influence. Currently, I don't have any rivals. And let's face it, rivaling someone who's this far away will not really give me any influence, as you can see. So there's no need to do that. I need to actually get close to them or find some people to rival, which is the biggest problem right now. I have no idea why I've only found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races. It's absurd. But we'll probably find some later. So we're going to leave it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!